Good morning. This is our view. Not much of one on our Storm Team Skycam network here in Fargo. This is all thanks to some fog that's developed. The wind has eased up. We had that warm air move in, settle over this colder snowpack, and it's formed into some fog overnight. And so now hazardous travel because of the dense fog for many of us here this morning. A dense fog advisory is in effect until 10 for those of us up in the north and east, but some of us until 1 o'clock this afternoon, because this is just going to hang around until that storm moves in. So, and again, an advisory right along the Red River and points south and east from there today. The visibility reports are down to a quarter mile in Fargo, Wahpeton, Elbow Lake, we're at 0 in Oaks, even up toward Hallock, we're at a quarter mile there. So some dense fog, your hazard to start off the day. It, of course, will be changing into a much more hazardous conditions as far as rain and snow are concerned, and wind too coming up. So our temperatures right now, we are going to be warmer to the east, colder to the west. There's a very clear transition line between the warmer air and the colder air, and this is where we're going to see that transition zone set up once the moisture moves in today. Our wind speeds are lighter again here this morning to start off, and we're dealing with the fog, but otherwise it's still looking pretty quiet for us in the valley at this point in time. We're going to zoom out to show you what's going on. We've got that low developing in the Rockies, the moisture pushing out ahead of it. We're already seeing some rain, some freezing rain in southern South Dakota, and that's going to lift northward. And so this continues to move at that clip. We might get that rain and snow in here a little sooner rather than later. So here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. I've switched forecast models to show that indication that we might be seeing some of that rain and snow a little sooner. And so by the time we're getting into the noon hour, we're looking at the Southern Valley. And again, Fargo is going to be right on that transition line, it looks like, with this particular system. Rain to the east, snow to the west. Heading into the afternoon, the heavier rain moves in, the snow and the ice potential again out to the west, with the heaviest snow right close to that transition zone. And then heading into the 10 o'clock hour, you could see the rain to the east. Fargo getting some snow and some sleet and freezing rain potentially at that point in time. And I just want to mention, this is one model scenario. We showed you the other one earlier, and both of them differ just a little bit. So Fargo, we could end up with a bunch of snow, or we could end up with a lot of rain initially, some ice too, and then a few inches of snow. We're more likely to get the heavier snow farther to the west, and more likely to see more rain with this one to the east before it transitions over. Now heading into Thursday morning, ongoing heavy snow and very strong winds. That's going to be one of the certainties we'll be dealing with, is winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. Very intense winds. Anywhere the snow is falling, we're going to be dealing with blizzard conditions and impossible travel with this one. And this is, of course, worse during the overnight hours tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow, when the snow is still falling. Now heading into the noon hour, still getting the snow, still getting the intense wind, and then eventually the snow ends, but the wind will still be strong. So we're talking still some big drifting happening and low visibility happening as well. Gradually heading into the nighttime hours Thursday night, the wind will ease up and conditions will improve. Of course, we're going to have a big mess on our hands, so travel's still going to be difficult, if not impossible, even into Thursday night. So looking at our snowfall potential with this, keep in mind there's going to be an area of rain, and this could shift, but that's where the snowfall totals will be lighter. Same thing up to the north and west, there'll be some lesser snowfall totals, and in between, now again, this will be shifting, there will be a band of 6 to 12 inches of heavy wet snow and potentially a little ice too. So talking about some of our impacts, of course, with the blizzard, impossible travel, but this is heavy wet snow, so possible roof issues once again on top of what we've seen. And because the wind is so strong, we're talking downed branches, some power line and electricity issues with this one, areas of icing and localized street flooding where we get the rain. Some of those storm drains are plugged with ice and snow, so watch out for flooding. Don't try to drive through flooded areas. It's also a threat to our livestock and our animals. Please bring your pets inside during this event. We're looking at our 7-day planner. We're going to see some quieting conditions into the weekend, but this is going to be tough. You've been hearing the talk about this. We haven't seen a blizzard like this in some time, so take this seriously.
Thank you, Lisa.